We're back,
What's
guys.
up? I'm Michelle.
I'm India.
And we are reviewing Married at First Sight, season 14.
Episode 9. We're episode 9. This is 9, y'all.
Yes, it is.
We pushing through.
It's like halfway through. It's probably halfway because it's like 14 plus reunion plus decision day.
I think we're halfway there.
Whew. Okay. So.
First episode, no Chris and Alyssa.
Yes. What y'all think? Okay, so this. Honestly, as I was watching, I was like, it's only 4 couples. Like, it felt like a little bit more solid.
Yeah,
like,
it did.
We
got a lot from each couple.
Yeah, but that's okay because all of it wasn't really notable. But okay, Steve and Noi.
All right, first they went on a scavenger hunt. She sent him on a scavenger hunt
because she was apologetic for what she had done. I think she was trying to make it up to him. Everybody had done like the cute little stuff actually.
Yeah.
So they just made hers in the front and they made it seem like it had to do with that. But maybe it didn't. Anyway.
It was cute.
Okay. Ish. I mean, y'all think that the producers and stuff be like helping them out with the games?
And I think so. Because at first, it was a great idea if she came up with it herself.
But they've done scavenger hunts before.
Yeah, that's
what makes me think.
The producers told them, do a scavenger hunt.
The scavenger hunt.
Plan a date.
Yeah.
Is she really like that? Who knows? But probably. They seem to really like each other and get along, so
but
that's
she's
nice.
But she's still weird a little bit. Like, they were having a conversation about the whole love thing because she's really obsessed with him saying he loves her. And she made the comment that if he waits too long to say he loves her, then maybe he'll doubt that he really loves her. Like,
what does that mean?
It's been 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And
I wasn't getting the rationale.
And actions also speak louder than words. Like, how do you feel, Noi? Like, do you feel like he's giving you love or treating you well or giving you the things that you want? Because that's really what matters. And if after 3 weeks the man doesn't want to say I love you, that's okay.
Which he eventually said.
Of course.
She was over.
And it honestly seemed genuine.
Yeah, it did.
So I think he does. And so then the other thing is when they was with the girls hanging out, she was telling them the story about how she ghosted him for a day. And she was like, he was really hurt by that. I was like, oh my God, he loves me. Like, that's toxic.
Very.
Sis.
Yeah. She was so
You
happy
did something messed up. You hurt him. You hurt his feelings. Yes, he cares for you, which is why he was hurt by you. That didn't mean he loved you. That just meant that you did something that was hurtful. And that is, you hurt him.
It's still, so they look real cute, but the jury is still out on Noi. The jury is still out on Noi, although I was like, okay, she redeemed herself a little bit because they look like they coming together.
But I also just don't think that she's mature for this because also with the girls hangout thing, Lindsey brought up, what did you post on Instagram? Yes. And it was something about you're marrying their inner child, you're marrying this, you're marrying trauma, whatever. Sis, are you talking about yourself?
Yeah, she's definitely projecting.
Because Steve is pretty even.
Yeah.
And I don't know. So he also, when they were talking to the guys, told them about the situation and that he was really hurt. And everybody was like, that, like they were, like, I feel like the guys were definitely being vulnerable. Like, the fact that Steve can easily be vulnerable and was very willing to talk to Noi about their problems, I thought that was really, it says a lot about him. And she's not ready for that. She's not. Because he gonna hurt her feelings again. And actually, in the preview for the next episode, there was definitely something where he was basically saying that he wasn't sure that he could trust it, or he was, he was still disturbed by something. So who knows? But Noi is definitely going to mess this up. That's what I say. She's gonna mess it up because she's not. I don't know. I don't know. She didn't win me back over. I don't like her.
See.
I still don't like her. Okay.
Anything else with Noi and Steve?
Not really. He said he had been in 5 to 6 relationships, and that's a good amount. Yeah. But he said he had been in 5 to 6 relationships, and he said he pretty much felt like he loved everybody. So I feel like she should have at least been confident that he knows when he.
Well, she said that clearly is easy for him to love somebody. So why is it taking him so long? Essentially,
she said that.
something like that. She was like, it's concerning because he's loved
6.
and I was like, but it wasn't in 3
But he's
weeks.
38. Like, he could
Child.
have one every 2 years and still
Child. So
like
that's
have some
what-
time off.
Anywho,
Noi bye. Okay.
Mark and
And
Lindsey.
Lindsey.
So I ain't gonna lie, they spent a lot of time on them when she was first complaining. I said, see now, they stretching this.
They are, and they had that silent dinner.
Yes.
And I think that was right after the bowling
But it was the
alley.
next day. It was the next day.
And
I
child,
think.
she was giving him the one word answers, and he was just like, well, what's up? And so they bring it up and they talk about it, and she went in on him.
Into his face. Now,
Y'all.
she ain't say half of what she said at the bowling alley, but she still told him his life was in shambles.
She said it was
She's
toxic
very
sludge, honey.
Disrespectful.
It was very
But why
mean.
is she so disrespectful? When she's mad, she really, I think her dad mentioned this, like, she goes in.
And that's
It's
just
stuff
not how
can't
you
come
treat
back
people.
from. He's
right?
never going to forget those certain words you use.
And how can somebody get over it when you literally talked shit about like their real life like 2 days ago?
I want to know how he feels watching this back now. Because I don't think he heard same thing with Alyssa and her people watching it back. I don't think he heard all that stuff she was saying at the bowling alley.
Well, she said half of it to his face. I mean,
Yeah, but
she didn't
say
bring
his
up.
road infested
She
apartment.
didn't, but she might have. Messing with her, she may have actually said it all to him. Who knows? But what I do know is that she said his life was in chaos. She said he's always complaining. I mean, she didn't. And then she had the nerve to be like, well, what do you like about me? So, yes, I understand.
And he said something,
And
which
he
I
said
was shocked. Because
something.
I would have been like, girl, go on. I don't like nothing about you.
Right. And
Leave me alone.
she's fed up with him, but he's fed up with her. And she thinks that her fed up is better than his fed up.
And so that's the thing. She
He
wants
don't
to
like you
point out
either.
every flaw that he has, but it doesn't seem like she accepts her flaws. No matter how much she tries to act like she's that person, she's not.
She's not.
Because as soon as he says one thing, she has
cuts
to
him
combat
off.
it. Yes,
and
she
then,
has a response.
And then as soon as he cut her off, she's like, can I finish talking? You've been jumping in like, huh?
Lindsey, I want to like something about her, and I can't. She is the worst communicator. Like, she's too
And
much.
he said to her, it's the communication. We need to work on it. And then she was like, well, I was at 100%. Now I'm at 1%. And I think I don't know what she thought he was going to say. But he was like, well, it's better than 0. Like, I wanted him. That's exactly the energy I wanted him to give that, which is nothing. Like, okay, what you want me to do?
She's very childish. She has these tantrums. And then she's ready to move on when she's ready to move on.
Yeah.
Which it doesn't seem like she holds on too long. So maybe in a couple days later they were fine.
Right.
But it's like, you just cannot talk to people that way and think they're supposed to get over it. It's just so rude.
It is rude. And it's just like, I don't know what goes out the window with these people where they feel like they can just say whatever they want. But
Lindsey,
y'all be talking to people like this?
Lindsey do.
I mean, there's so much stuff that you have to hold back because you know it's gonna hurt. Like, you have to figure out, like, okay, how do I say this to somebody? Even if you're
thinking something really mean, you can't say it. You just gotta think it.
Nah,
like,
they be saying
everything. Yes, she does. She really
her
does.
and Olajuwon, which is probably why they get into it, why they don't get along.
He another one. He gotta hold that. So that was Mark and Lindsey.
So she did say that they had a breakthrough moment. She was talking to the ladies and she was like, I think we had, or maybe she was just a confessional, but she said they had a breakthrough moment and they were doing better. Or maybe it was him that said it. But they basically,
I think he said it.
Said that they had kind of gotten past it. Like, they were able to communicate. They finally heard each other. What he told her was very right. He was like, you do shit that annoys me. I do shit that annoys you. You don't feel like I'm hearing you. I don't feel like you're hearing me. So clearly there's something wrong with our communication. And she just wanted to tear him down and be like, what? No, you this, you that. Like, I don't know. He's doing it for the show. That's all I could say. But
he took her out.
She took him to sushi, and then he took her to sushi,
and then she took him
to the fun park.
So they seemed to.
So they were doing. I mean, but that was the assignment. That was clearly the assignment of this week. Was everybody had to do something nice for the other person. Yeah. So everybody did do their little nice thing, and it was. I mean, but she also said, like, things were good the first 2 weeks, but then 11 days ago things went wrong. Like, sis, you've been counting the days? Like, literally since they stepped foot back in Boston, shit's been messed up.
Yep.
So,
yeah.
She also, okay, let me see what my notes about the hangout. She was asking them, she basically came to the conclusion that everybody has their issues, and she's like, oh, now that I see what everybody else is going through, then, I can identify my stuff and his stuff, and maybe it feels normal, maybe it feels like this is what's supposed to be happening. So, yeah, I feel like she does need outside interference.
Yeah.
Because she does not see it in the moment. She always thinks she's right.
Yes.
Always.
Very much so. I agree with that.
I don't like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there anything about South Alabama?
I don't have anything else.
No. Okay. So we're going to keep this short and sweet. Next up is Jasmina and Michael.
Yo, they start off real rocky, honey.
And that was his nice gesture. That was his nice gesture for her.
He was like, she already has like thoughts about him, and I think in their preconceived, so she's just on defense all the time. Maybe it's just with him. Maybe that's how she is in general. But
she gives him
doing too much.
She doesn't give him any.
Calm down. And it's like, you the one getting snappy.
Yeah.
Like, they got into it, and he was like, this wasn't supposed to go this way. But I feel like, does she not see herself?
No.
You don't see that.
She's like, when you give me tone, then I'm giving you tone.
She started kind of giving him tone quicker than he was giving her tone.
He was getting very frustrated, and he was in that moment where he was like holding it together, biting his tongue.
And then she was going off a little bit. And
she was like, these are basic communication skills. Well, if he's asking and you want him to talk to you a certain way,
give him an example.
Tell him.
Yep. And in that moment, say, this is how I would like this to go. Whatever. Yeah. But she's just like...
And he stays giving her points that make sense. He's like, well, we come from different places. So the way I talk... may not offend you, right. But what you say may not offend me, but it might offend you. Like, yes, we have friends. Like, some people have thicker skin than others. Some people are used to their family members being very direct with them. Some people grew up a certain way where they cuss and they don't take it offensively. Yeah, like, it's so many things. So he's absolutely right. And she just don't ever think she wrong. Like her friend said last week. I don't know about Jasmina. Like, I mean, later on it was better.
Yeah, they what did they do later?
They did the what do you call it?
Oh, she worked out. Oh, and then they bonded.
They bonded when she did the personal trainer thing, which was really cute.
That was the first time me seeing them actually have physical contact.
Yeah, and honestly, at least she showed some empathy, because last time he brought up his family on the honeymoon, she was like, "Oh, okay. Well, maybe you should just look at things differently." So now it's like him explaining his tragedy and how it started with him so young. She did seem to have empathy, and I do think that was good. But he said he was trying to be vulnerable, and she was like, well, he's not trying very hard. And I was like, well,
also,
what are you trying hard at doing?
Yeah, he said he was going to come in and be vulnerable from the beginning, which was, he already said that was the mistakes in his past 2 relationships or whatever, just him not being vulnerable. But honestly, if you don't make it so easy for someone,
then they're gonna revert back to what's comfortable.
Or you make it actually hard for them. Yeah. So Jasmina has her wall up. Michael has his wall up. It's no different. But if he's coming in like, I want to be vulnerable, it's gonna be hard to be vulnerable with somebody who has a wall up like he does.
Right. The very first time,
kind of gotta to come in wanting to be vulnerable, and it's still gonna be hard because both of y'all, it's not natural to neither one of them.
Yeah. And the first time that he was himself, she jumped down his throat, or she did this. And then the next time, she jumped down his throat. So it's like, he's not, he just doesn't have, it's an uphill battle.
It is. I hope they get it together. Like, that was a good moment. So hopefully those type of like small things where you really get to know somebody. Maybe you won't.
And they are game changers. Yeah. But I was oh my God, it was so hard to watch. India cried, you guys.
Like, no, I did not.
It's okay to cry. Olajuwon said it's okay to cry. It's
okay. Okay, you heard it here.
I'm not laughing. Like, we were watching it, and I turned around and I saw tears in his face, and I was like, "Are you crying?"
Because it was so sad, bro. It was
really
his brother.
It was,
and
really
it was
sad.
really him crying because I was like, "Dang, he really probably don't want to." talked about this on TV.
Right.
But in that moment, he
gave it.
The cameras are there. You got it. Y'all are talking about it. Those are his natural emotions.
He really did. He was
he
so
probably
genuine.
wishes he could get through that conversation without crying. Then maybe if he could cry in private.
But he admitted that it felt good to cry. And so you could tell he has walls up.
Yeah.
And Jasmina needs to work on her walls because she got walls up too.
She does. So hopefully maybe seeing this back and seeing that she'll see it like, dang, I guess I was a little snippy, whatever.
I don't like her very much. Like, I really want to like her more than I do.
Yeah, I thought Jasmina was about to be my girl.
She's not.
Like, I did. I thought she was giving me Imani from...
She's not. Oh, not at all.
But, I mean, and it could be a little editing with her, but...
But she just always has the RBF, which doesn't help. Because even at the nail salon, she was just like... Like, she didn't give a lot. Even when she explained what they were going through, she just does not give a lot of emotion.
She don't.
And then she's sitting here talking about what he needs to be more vulnerable. Like, Anyway. However, I do think that it could be a turning point for them. It really could.
Me too. I think so, too.
I really hope it is, to be honest.
I hope so, and I think
But on the previews, in front of Dr. Viviana... She told a man that he does not turn her on in words that were way more colorful and could be hurtful. Like, people just don't care what they say to people.
We got to see that, though. We got to see that. Because maybe it was her giving an example from the past.
I hope so. If she's telling him to his face that he do not
get her
turn on the faucet, I'm concerned.
Yeah.
But we think that already. We don't think that she's attracted
to her. Nah. Physically attracted to her.
She's not. And his personality. Oh, that was the other thing, y'all, is that he explained why his personality, like why he said that experience changed him forever. And that tragedy after tragedy after tragedy has changed who he is. So yes, he's pessimistic. Yes, he's waiting for the other shoe to drop. Yes, he's waiting for the next tragedy to happen. Like, how could he not be?
So maybe he don't need to be on Married at First Sight.
It's not that. I think that he just has to find someone that understands that that's him, and also someone that could bring out of him, like, hey, it's okay.
That's why I think
like, you can't change
somebody.
You can't change what happened in the past. It might happen again, but you can't stop that from you can't let that stop you from living or being happy. Like, he don't want to open his heart up because he is like, whoo, he done had a lot of heartbreak.
And that's sad.
It is. Okay. Last.
Olajuwon and Katina.
Okay. I don't know what y'all think we gonna say. Like, what Olajuwon and Katina, it's confusion for me because
it's very much so.
I am torn.
You ain't torn.
I'm slightly torn.
Out of line.
Except,
who do you think you are?
It's like the content is not inaccurate. It's the delivery.
It's his delivery.
And it's the delivery, and it is the after 3 weeks it's not just the delivery. It's the delivery and the fact that he somehow thinks he's better than her.
Yes, I'm very it's confused for me. She's accepting for you for your flaws. You talk too much. You gave her a striptease in front of her parents. Right. At the wedding, you do too much. You got ADHD.
Right. You touchy. You was kissing all on her. All that. She just went with it. She was cool.
And then her little flaws of being kind of
not
childish.
He said the word. He said that she is sheltered.
Yeah.
And I think that's accurate.
And he's judging her so bad, and act like it's no coming back. To me, is what you're saying. If you really got an issue with her not having life skills, I'm not mad at you having an issue with that. I'm not mad at you expecting basic life skills from somebody who comes on a show who's over 30 years old, married at first sight. I'm mad at your delivery and that you are acting like this is something she can't work on.
And you're just digging in. It's
I didn't sign up for this. I didn't. It's not about you. Are you about to divorce her?
He was
you want to try to work on it?
My this, my that. It's just too.
I worked hard. I worked hard. Yeah. Okay, so nobody else on this whole damn show own a house in Boston as expensive as it is. So what were your expectations? To have another homeowner and this, that, and the third with no student loans and I can't stand people like that.
I didn't like it. That was so they started off, and that's why I say I was torn. I'm confusion because in the beginning I was okay with the initial conversation where he was just like, what are we doing here? Like, we had people over and you were just like ready to go to bed. Now, people need to understand, like, you do have to talk and communicate. Expectations are not going to be met if you do not talk about them.
That's very true.
However, I can understand his initial thought process of, okay, so you're just not going to do this? Like, it would be different if, I guess that's where they need the time, because he doesn't know if that's just who she is and if she always leaves stuff messy, or if she was just tired. If it was just a one time, I'm tired, I don't feel like doing anything. And the other side of it is, everybody's not going to be giving 100% all the time.
Nope.
Like he said, oh, he works late, he works nights, he works this, he works that. Like, there's going to be times when she's going to have to cook and clean because you're working. And then there's going to be times when you're going to have to cook and clean because she's doing something. Yeah. So I just feel like he has these unrealistic expectations of a partnership.
He does.
And it's, however, I understand his frustration if you're like ready to just push past the tiredness and get something done so that you don't have to wake up to a mess, because that feels very college, childish, and like, as adults, we usually try to keep things clean, clean it up, get things done. So I get that. That's why I'm like, I get where he's coming from, like on the basic level. But
he's saying it like it's a deal breaker. And if it's
not a deal breaker, it shouldn't be a deal breaker.
It shouldn't be a deal breaker because it's something she can work through.
If she's willing, and especially if she's willing
to, she's like, yeah, I know I need to step it up. I'm used to doing my own thing. Okay, let me step it up. Then it's not a deal breaker, so stop talking about it. Like, I'm sure they brought up that housewoman situation. I'm sure he brought that up 5 times off camera. I'm sure, because she heard it before. I'm sure, like, stop talking about it. Let's move forward. Yes, I didn't clean up after the housewoman. And what if that's okay, so then you probably started thinking like, oh, his little spidey senses went up. But at the end of the day,
give her time.
And give her
time to adjust.
And she said she was verbally abused. He never reacted to it. He was just like...
He was like, well, that's not a reason to not cry. She was crying because she was hurt. You keep wanting her to cry and show emotion. Well, she about to cry because you hurting her the same way somebody else is hurting her. Like, that's weird to me.
You're damn near verbally abusive.
Yeah, like he just like digs and just going and going and going.
Because he thinks he's somebody he's not.
Like, yeah. He really does think he's a prize. Yeah. He thinks that he took himself off the market and like, oh, here I am, you have me. Like, you don't even know what you got. And I mean, if Katina gets it together and, can keep a home or not and bring home the bacon, whatever she decides to do, she can find a partner outside of this process.
Yep.
That's for sure. Especially if she chooses to leave Boston, because I'm guessing I don't know. But I just feel like Katina is not a lost cause. She does seem sheltered. She does. That's why we keep saying like she keeps kind of slow or whatever. Like it does. Yeah. It feels sheltered. Like she doesn't have a lot of life experience or worldly experience. Like she hasn't
I would agree with that. That's how it seems.
Like pay a mortgage. Like she hasn't gone through like adult processes.
Yeah.
Like
that's
loans and I don't know, handling business. Like he just doesn't think that he doesn't trust her to handle business, which. I get that. He just cannot like beat her down. That I just can't.
He has way more flaws than she does for him to be acting like this. Because she was pushing past his stuff. Like even when her friends did not want her with him, it was like, girl, he never dated the black women. He was doing too much in front of everybody. He seems like he's an attention seeker. And she's like, yeah, just who he is. Like,
they're gonna be mad at this. They're gonna be mad at this stuff. They're gonna be like, you cannot let him talk to you like that.
And now he can't move past the fact that she, like, I mean, I think an adult should know how to cook and clean
and
for
grocery
themselves.
Shop
but she didn't know how to do it. You were living on your own.
She is.
And here you are. And unless you're about to divorce her for it, just try to move past it. It seems like he just wants to beat her up about it.
And she is beat up about it. Because they started off the episode with her in her little selfie cam talking about, I'm going to the grocery store. Hopefully he likes the way. Like, it's starting to give controlling and abusive. She's like, I hope he likes, I'm going to try. He keeps bringing it up. I know it's something that he doesn't like. And it's like.
I bring enough food home.
It's like, it's scary.
And let me tell you something. I've been an adult for a very long time. How she was acting I ain't act like that since college.
I know.
Grocery shopping. I ain't gonna lie. You know, you got your little dorm,
yeah.
and then you move into your little off-campus house, and then college, or whenever you first move out your mama house, and then you kind of go in the store, you buy little stupid stuff, and you're at 20 years old, 19 years old. It was giving that at first, and then he kept going to the point where
that's what I'm saying, Ilya. That's why I was like, I understood, but he then ruined it because that conversation that ended the episode was 100%. Because
then all his flaws came back out. It's like, see, Olajuwon, people try to give you a little bit, and then you take it too far because you think it's something that is not.
And I have a problem because she said she needed a break and he kept going. Like, why do you keep trying to beating her while she's down?
He wants to attack her. It makes him feel good. And in his mind, he's pissed. Let's be clear. He's very upset by this. He's worked himself up.
He feels gypped at this point.
Yes. And it's like, dang. You worked yourself up this bad about this instead of just being like, look, if I don't see improvements over this next 4 weeks until the process is over, I might really say no. But let her know that.
And he told the guys that too. He told the guys, like, he telling everybody. But then he has so many improvements to make too, so it's really hard for me to be like, okay. Because she wants someone to talk to her like she has some sense, and like they got some sense, and that's what Olajuwon does not do.
He's rude. He's very rude.
Like, and I just feel like you can't take that in 3 weeks. Like, if you when you date someone, you get all the best parts of them at first. And so then when they start to show these little things that you don't like, you have some balance, but you at least know, like, oh my God, they're such a good person. Oh my God, they take care of me. So it's like she doesn't have that. And therefore, like, why would she say yes to someone that talks to her like that?
She gonna say yes because if she was taking somebody calling her a weak bitch,
she didn't take it though. She left that man. She was abused. She was verbally abused, but she also left him. And honestly, I feel like
Olajuwon is giving me verbally abusive. I think she's repeating the cycle.
Well,
so if they still together, which I think they are, I hope he changed his tone up.
But she keeps saying she's not going to be with someone that speaks to her disrespectfully. So that is probably her one red flag. Like, that is her red flag.
Oh, you're saying so maybe she's not going to deal with it.
So I think she's not going to. I mean, they're still married now, but she's not going to. I mean, not now. I don't know if they're still married. But what I'm saying is, as the show progresses, I think that she will be like, okay, she's going to mentally be like, okay, well, this is how he acts. So let me just get through these few weeks and we'll be done.
I hope so. Unless he completely does a 180. Because that was unacceptable.
It was not nice. I didn't like it. It was mean. And it's like he finally got her to cry. Now what?
See, I don't like that.
So, I don't know I can't remember what happened with them on the preview, but
she was crying some more.
We'll see what happened. With Viviana. Yes, yeah. She was actually telling Viviana that she can't have somebody talking to her like that.
All right.
So, I think that's it.
Yeah, we didn't have the other crazy couple to talk about, so it was a little bit shorter. Thank goodness.
Yes. Tell us what y'all think. I think Olajuwon could go play in traffic for all I care this week because I just don't like the way he was speaking to her.
And he's not going to redeem himself. Trust me, he has too much ego.
And everybody else is just like,
Blah.
We'll see. What y'all think? I don't know. This episode was a little boring.
Yeah, it really was.
But
thank y'all for watching.
Yeah. We'll see you next week.
We'll see you next week.